I
So
just,
I'm recording the meeting only to make it easier for Carol to make sure that she gets everything when, it's not for everybody. It's just for Carol. So,
awesome.
okay, so, thank you, Hetty. That was wonderful.
Thank you.
Um, all right, so everybody have a chance to review the minutes from last meeting? Any comments, changes, corrections? Okay, so they will stand as noted or recorded. All right, so my report. Well, first of all, I did not have a president's meeting this past month because uh Renee had the flu, so I don't have anything to pass on to you from that. Um, but I will say, and I think you all saw in the Women's League newsletter, the Leadership Institute is now public and ready to go. July 27th to the 29th at Oheb Shalom in South Orange. Miriam Sisterhood is the host. Um, and so we will get every region gets one scholarship. Um, and so we'll be able to give a scholarship to somebody. So what I would like, and I hope that there's going to be a large contingent from Garden State region. If every sisterhood had at least one person, that would be 28 people. That would be like awesome. Um, but as far as scholarships for the women in your sisterhood affiliates, they really should go and see if your sisterhood can give some kind of scholarship to them, and they can reach out to um, me for a scholarship for, and we'll work. The presidents will be part of this committee to determine scholarships for what we can give out. And to be honest, we have not spoken about how much um, would be in that kitty. Um, so I think by next month we'll be able to tell you. We'll meet separately.
Sheila,
Yeah,
um, my sisterhood apparently is going to have a presidium because this is the end of my term in June.
Mazel Tov.
I don't know, it's kind of bittersweet, but yeah. So there's a presidium going on, and there are three.
Okay.
So one of them has approached me about a scholarship. Now my sisterhood can do that, but I'm going to have this one person reach out to you. Is
Okay.
that all right?
Okay.
We
Hmm.
can, I would like to come also because I've never been to one, even though I'll be immediate past president at that point.
That's fine. This is open to everybody. It's not just incoming, outgoing, current presidents. It's everybody.
Well, they
So,
all want to go because they're all kind of green. So I'm gonna have her get in touch with you. The other two I think are fine and I'm fine. And our sisterhood can take care of that. So any relief we can get would be appreciated.
okay. But there will be probably a form that people
Okay.
will fill out. So we'll have it pulled together to distribute for everybody to make write-ups or fill out whatever we need to get from them.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank
Uh,
you.
but that's great. So it's like 3 or 4 from Highland Park?
Three.
3? Okay. Including yourself?
No.
Oh, so 4 including yourself.
Well, no. There are three that are going to be co-presidents. I will be the immediate past president.
Okay, so your point on who's coming.
Well,
And
aside
it
from me, the three of them want to come,
okay.
but only one has asked about a scholarship.
Okay. So there's 4 of you guys coming from Highland.
Yes. Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Yeah.
all I need. That's all that needs.
Sorry.
So like I said, you don't have to be president or past or incoming or whatever. It's anybody.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions on this topic? Okay. Um, so we spoke last month, but a lot of people were not on. We're going to have summer workshops this summer, and we're not going to do it in person because it's just a lot with the Leadership Institute. Because I really hope that a lot of people will be going. So they'll be over 4 or 5 different nights, including one night as Sisterhood presidents. Um, Membership will be August 4th, programming August 11th, Torah Fund August 13th, and Sisterhood Presidents are either July 29th or August 6th. And that's all this information is on the agenda that was distributed. And it'll be on Zoom. So the reason why we had it different days is this way it gives people a chance to go to different workshops. So Sisterhood Presidents has to stay Sisterhood Presidents. It's no one else. But this way it gives the chance of the presidents to go to any of the other evening programs. And we're talking an hour and a half tops, 7:30 to 9 o'clock. So they're very doable. It's not every night, it's Monday and Wednesday night, so that it'll be worthwhile. Any questions on that?
When did you say the president's one was?
That's to be decided. It's one of 2 dates, either July 29th or August 6th.
Okay, thank you.
And it's so early that the dates may change too, but right now that's what we're going with.
Okay,
All right. Next, I want to just remind everybody to vote in Merkaz. You have until May 4th. And I believe if you vote with Women's League, it's the slate number 17. Otherwise, it can be the slate of your choice. Like I know my synagogue is number 250. So anyway. All right, next, newsletters. So Torah Fund is coming out every other week. You know, last time was affiliate support. Susan wrote something. So I'm gonna try and make sure going forward that we have a different person in addition to me writing about something, whether it's membership or Israel or whatever. And lastly, I have June well, we can talk about this later, but for Devar Torah. But that is all that I have, unless I come up with something later on and I totally forgot about it. But any questions on my report?
I have a
Eileen?
question. Yeah. You mentioned that the Sisterhood presidents would have either the Garden State Region workshop is either July 29th or August 6th. It seems, at least from Highland Park, that the Sisterhood presidents, or if they go to Leadership Institute, that may be a lot for that day.
Okay, you know what? It's July 30th. It's my mistake. It's a
Oh.
Wednesday. It's Mondays and Wednesdays.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
sorry about that. I knew I was screwed up something, so that's what I did.
Okay.
It's Wednesday, but and I knew that about the presidents could be like wiped out, but it's it should be fine. It really
Yeah, it'll be next day is fine.
yeah.
They'll
Susan?
also be in the mode of being president, whatever, being all hyped up, so they may have a lot to contribute or to absorb.
Okay, Susan?
Yeah, I was gonna say for the next, you said you want something, if you want something written for the newsletter on social action. My sisterhood is doing a collection for the local chapter of, it's called 180 Turning Lives Around. It's a women's supporting domestic violence. Did you want me to write something up on that for whenever? You need something for any time.
let's talk, not, when are
Okay, we'll
you
talk
guys doing
offline.
it? I'm actually, it's the chairs that are the ones writing about it.
So
So that
I'll
would be
send the
something that
information
would be a
to,
that would be a sisterhood thing.
yeah.
Okay,
Who would
so,
get the information then? Social action.
well, TOBA is,
Tova, okay,
social action.
okay.
Mhm. But if you're submitting something, when is that event?
It's ongoing till June 5th. From now, we're collecting it at the temple. They're asking congregants to bring in certain items that they're gonna then deliver. It's
Okay,
it's for the organization where I took the spring conference stuff last year,
okay,
the feminine hygiene products.
okay, all right, good. Yeah, be in contact with Toba about that. Okay, all right, the calendar for next year. The Torah Fund event, will be Sunday, November 16th from 10 to 1. Spring conference is earmarked for May 3rd, the first Sunday in May, 9:30 to 4. So I'm going to send a letter out, to all the presidents requesting, availability from them. And if they have what they do for catering, and if their sisterhood or synagogue is available. And from all these responses, we'll decide, it'll come back to me and we'll decide where different events will be. I think this is worthwhile because the amount of phone calls and reaching out to the different sisterhoods is enormous, is an enormous task. And I just like to get feedback from everybody on what's available to, you know. So, any questions about that? All right, so that's it for my list. The next is Donna Franklin, who's treasurer, and hold on a second, I will share her report. Let's see. Give me 1 second, I may. What did I do with it? She just sent it to me this afternoon. Oops. Oh, my goodness. All right, we're gonna have to move on because I have to reload. Okay, financial secretary, Lisa Katz.
Hi, everyone. So, as of April 4th, there's still 4 sisterhoods that have an outstanding balance over $100. We've collected $35,235 as of the 4th, and we still have $8,325 outstanding. The 4 sisterhoods are the following. It's Congregation B'nai Israel in Toms River, Congregation Neve Shalom in Metuchen, Congregation Shomrei Torah in Wayne, and Temple Emmanuel in Gloucester. The only one I heard back from, I sent follow-up emails on March 24th, and we had response from Temple Emmanuel in Gloucester, who stated they're still in the process of comparing their database to ours, and it's very outdated, they said, and will take them a few weeks. So that's where everything stands.
All right, follow up to that, I had just gotten this afternoon, from Women's League, regarding Tom's River, a sabbatical.
Sabbatical?
Yep,
A
for this
sabbatical?
year.
That's the second one now, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So what
Okay.
it means when people have sabbaticals, they're off for the year. If they've worked with a consultant, they've worked with Women's League. But they are still active. Okay, so I am still sending them announcements. They were invited to the meetings. They're just on a break from payment for the year. And it's not like it's gonna be for the 2 years in a row. It's not, it's just for this current year.
Okay.
So. Any questions on
Yeah,
Meryl?
yeah, well, you have to realize that Tom River, along with Wayne and I forget the other one, have been in this situation for several years. Rabbi Ellen used to be the rabbi down in Tom's River, and she worked very hard to try to get them involved and active because they've been having problems paying the per capita, I mean, since I was president. So this is not something new. And just so you know, it didn't just happen. It's been
Okay.
dragging on for years.
Okay.
If I could mention something,
Yeah.
you could hear me?
Yeah.
They care deeply. They don't want to leave Women's League. The demographics there are an issue. And the part that's important is that they are sending out dues by June, but they may get a variance next year. Yes, they've had difficulties, but they care deeply. They've moved everything into the synagogue and have been doing amazing things and want to work with us. So there's a lot of good going on.
I agree. Based on the visit I took and Hetty.
And do Zoom, but they don't want to lazy by having us come and visit, and they only have 4 people. So in Zoom, they can do more, and I will let you know.
Anything else, Lisa?
I like Torah fun, that much I can say. That they're
No,
good.
not from me.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, next up is affiliate support, Cheryl Sessler.
Hi, so I've been speaking on the phone because we're doing the Women of Achievement, and I've been reaching out to the sisterhoods, and some of them, it's a bad time of year for the Women of Achievement event because they have galas on the night before. But I mentioned that if there are women that still want to go, maybe they're not going to the gala because maybe that's not in their wheelhouse. Let us know if they want us to, like, if they want me to like work out a carpool or help them get there. Some of them just don't have anyone to nominate, like I think it was Nev Shalom. I spoke to she's really nice, Jen Bullock.
Yeah.
Jennifer?
Mhm.
Jennifer.
So we were on the phone for like 45 minutes. She's a really nice lady. But it's her and this one other person, and they don't want to, oh, and the other person can't make it. She's like, I'm not nominating myself. So they won't have a nominee. But what I've been telling folks is, could you sponsor an ad? The $54, it's $54 for the page. Do you think you could do that in honor of the women who are being recognized this evening? So everybody was receptive to that. Everyone I mentioned that to. And my synagogue is one of the ones that's actually having a gala the night before. But I did mention to Ronnie, our president, that maybe there are people that who still can go because they're not going to the gala and they won't be all, tuckered out. We do have a congregational meeting that same night, which is the whole congregation. So we're voting on some important things there. But there could still be people. I felt like the congregation is large enough that maybe there still are people that would go to the Women's League event. So I'm still talking with her about that.
Cheryl,
Yeah.
in Metuchen, did you
Mhm.
say there are only 2 people in their sisterhood or 2 people available to
no.
2
attend?
people handling things for sisterhood.
Because, I mean, Corey Schneider is in Metuchen. We've
Yeah, I know.
advertised their loom. I mean,
Yes, people
There-
show up maybe to
For
stuff,
the
but
loom, they
no one
do.
is stepping up. And I had this talk with Jennifer. There's no one, and Men's Club rarely has this, where they have 2 presidents or 4 presidents. Men's Club has a president. When I was president, and now Ronnie, we have 1 president. Lisa, when Lisa Katz was president of Sisterhood, she was the president. I don't know why it's fine with men and some of the women, but so many women are like, ooh, I can't do it. I get it that we're all busy. That could be a legit, because I was crazy
I mean,
busy.
because Metuchen is close to North
yes,
Brunswick.
so
They don't have
Corey's
a
there.
transportation problem.
I know. Well, we talked about that too. She said
Yeah.
she laughed when I said, "Do you need help getting rides?" She's like, "No, we're right there." They have people, but people don't step up to do anything. Sorry, my allergies are killing me. Maybe they could split up. I think a lot of people don't realize the president doesn't have to do everything. They just have to be okay delegating. And maybe, and I learned that at work, delegating. So maybe women have a problem delegating, and that could be a whole other topic of discussion for an event. Why don't we feel comfortable having a lot of vice presidents, right? Have extra vice presidents to do stuff, invent them, put them in your what do you call it? The rules and regulations.
Your bylaws just create a lot
Bylaws.
of vice.
Thank you. Little brain dead
Well,
here.
that's why we started with teams, because nobody wanted the title of vice president. So we said we created clusters of
Yeah, but
teams.
you should want to be a vice president because that means you delegate to the team. You don't do it. I mean, yes, you do it, but like people want to help. You just have to
Yeah.
ask. People generally want to help with a little thing. They just may be afraid of a big title. But if you say, "Hey, could you do this one thing for the dinner? Could you order the napkins?" Oh, yeah, I could do that. Oh, there, that's all I said.
Something small, right?
Yeah, and bring them in. That's why
small.
I always tell people.
Yeah, like the
as financial
directory,
secretary,
Leslie. Something small like the
Yeah,
directory.
yeah. Well,
Is
I
it-
told, I took the role because I said I wanted a fixed thing and, so
And
I
it
did that.
worked. It
But it's
worked
a
out.
Yeah.
necessary, that thing is necessary. We need it.
Yeah.
And you did that and we need it. So, I mean, it might seem small to some people, but I'm digging that thing out all the time.
That's right. I
Meryl?
live by
I
it.
used it this week
Meryl?
to contact people, so it is important. It might seem really easy to you, it's super important. And then other people hate making phone calls. So they don't want one of those jobs, but they'll email. Anyway, I'm getting way off track. Sorry. But anyway, the point is, so Nev, yes, I know Corey's there, but she's not on the board and I don't know what she does with Sisterhood. So
Why didn't Corey
Okay,
come out
hold
just to
on.
support the region?
Eileen, hold on.
Yeah.
Meryl has her hand up for a while.
Mhm.
Okay, 2 things, Cheryl. One, I think you should request a consultant to come in and talk to your sisterhood and talk about taking on the responsibilities and the roles and all that. I mean, I'm not that far from you. I could always come over.
oh, it's not our
But-
sisterhood. We have a pretty full board. It's other sisterhoods that I talk to.
Oh, okay.
In my regional job when I'm talking to people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was
Then-
Nev that had very few active board members on their sisterhood, but they have
Right.
6 members.
Yeah, that they need somebody from the
Yeah.
consulting services. The other thing I was going to say, if you're putting together a carpool for the gala event, if someone can reach out to Barbara Esring. Barbara is new to our region, and she was originally like a president from the southern region, and she's been all over because her husband is a rabbi, an interim rabbi, so she's been all over the place. So she is living now, I think, in West Orange, and and she can't drive at night. So if someone can reach out to her and offer her a ride, that would be wonderful.
Okay, so she needs a ride.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can also put out okay, well, let's stick with services, with Cheryl's group. And just so you know, whenever I'm speaking to people like Metuchen or whoever, I do ask, do they want a consultant? And I know the big thing these days, for some of these women they don't want to show up. They don't want to help. They want to they'll show up. And nobody will wants to step up to be president or chair. And like Leslie said, I also tell them it's give them ask them to do little jobs. Or, can you pick up a few things at the grocery store for this event type of thing? Just to help offset some of the things in there. Anyway, all right, thank you, Cheryl.
Yeah, sorry, I don't have like actual numbers to give you, but
That's not an issue. It's not a numbers game for.
Cheryl, can I ask you a question about the program?
About what?
Can I ask you a question about, I don't know if you can see me. I'm on my phone.
Yeah.
I'm cooking dinner.
I see you.
I have a question for you. So we nominated someone from my synagogue,
Okay,
and I
listen,
just
hold on. We're not talking
that's
about
not the
women of
topic.
achievement
That's
right
not the
now.
topic. Okay.
Yep. Okay. Okay, anything else, Cheryl? Any other questions for Cheryl about the sisterhoods in general? Okay, programming, Susan. So you want to talk about
Yeah.
coffee
Well,
conversation?
maybe Helene, do you want to talk about the program since it was with your friend
Oh,
and you
okay,
made the
sure,
arrangements?
Sure, I could talk about, I think it was a very successful program, that, Yvette Schlüssel led. I mean, she was there in her kitchen preparing the meals, and she had a person, everybody was jealous of, her friend Linda, who was the taster, right? Got to taste all the stuff she, created. But, I think, I forget how many people attended, maybe 38, or was it more?
It was, yeah, I think it was 41 or 42 that I counted.
Okay, but the program was recorded as well, and I think, that I mean, I felt that it was done and handled very professionally. She's been doing this for a long time, and someday we'll come out with a cookbook in tribute to her father, who is a chef in the Catskills and various hotels and so on. So she wants to have something for his legacy, but I think it worked out well. And I know there was a booklet published also of recipes from here. However, they left off part of my recipe. I sent a note. One of the recipes I did for Mediterranean chicken had part of it left off. So I mean, I sent it back to, who
To
was it?
Tracy?
Yeah, to
Tracy?
Tracy. And I said, oh, could you please send out, because people might want to make it. It really is good. So
Okay.
I hope she will. If not, Sheila, I'll send it to you.
Okay, all right, yeah, send it to me.
And if somebody didn't get the recording and wants a recording, you can contact me and I could send it to you, and also the recipe book.
I would love the recipes.
Oh, okay, so I'll send it to you, Hattie.
Okay, sounds good.
Could you
Okay.
send it to me too,
Who said that?
Nancy? Nancy.
Nancy,
Merowitz.
okay.
Thank you.
All
I
right,
wouldn't mind having
Susan-
it either, Susan.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so Susan, I'll
Thank
send the recipe that was left, that they just left off two lines, but it just says how long to cook it and so on. So I think that's important.
Oh, okay. If you send it, then I'll just put that in the
Yeah,
email, the
it's steps 4
information,
and 5.
Helene.
Yeah, okay. Sounds like a plan. All right, thanks.
Okay. All right, so, anything else, Susan, before we go on to?
No, I just that we're thinking about next year already for dates, but that's for the next
Right,
meetings.
right. So Passover was the last coffee and conversation of the year. Okay, so next up is Lynette for Women of Achievement.
Okay, we got a very nice response, 15, potentially 16 honorees from throughout the state. As you know, the registration was just launched. That was on Friday, and it's very user-friendly. I already tried it. If you have any dietary concerns or something, there's room for that. Room for putting in an ad. It's very user-friendly. We're going to have a virtual journal, and Sheila got information to Sisterhood presidents yesterday regarding the ad, and we're hoping that even if you don't participate, that you'll be able to send an ad from your sisterhood, and sisterhood presidents would send the information throughout their sisterhood, their congregation, to generate ads to support their honorees. being held at B'nai Tikva, June 9th from 6 to 9 p.m. We're having a tricky tray auction at 50/50. I'm in the process of getting a license for that. We'll have a social action project where we'll be collecting feminine hygiene products and non-perishable foods. And we're just very excited to have the honorees that we're having, and the theme and the idea is Am Yisrael Chai. We're celebrating Israel. More importantly, we're celebrating being together after 6 years. And we might have lost our rhythm. It has been 6 years, but it's a joyous event to do this again and celebrate sisterhoods. And Ariel had a question. Do any sisterhood people, affiliates, have any questions, concerns that we can address?
Can I just make a comment?
Sure.
Our president, who is being honored, Bonnie Isaacson, announced today that our sisterhood is going to offer financial support for anybody who wants to come. So that if the cost was $60, they're offering it for $40.
Oh, that's nice.
And the sisterhood will shore up the difference.
Is that for your own sisterhood?
I'm sorry?
Is that for your own sisterhood?
For our own sisterhood, yeah,
Wow.
to encourage women to come. It is a distance to drive, and they want to encourage women to participate and come.
Okay, that's
Very-
nice to hear.
So the only reason I mention it is not just to mention it, but maybe it is a strategy, an approach that other sisterhoods might want to consider for themselves.
And this is exactly what we've been talking about, that the scholarships can be provided within your own sisterhood
Mhm.
to help subsidize the event for each person to go.
Right. If you can financially do it, your sisterhood can do it, please do it.
Right.
We-
Right.
we
Ariel,
also-
you want to bring up your
I
question?
was going to ask the same thing. I was asking what people were doing because we've just nominated someone. I haven't shared it more broadly with the sisterhood, but I do think the fee is a little bit high. I mean, we recently had at our synagogue. I think we have smaller fundraisers, kind of financially. Like we recently had a fundraiser event, and it was like, 54 or maybe like 108. Like the fees seemed lower. So that's why I was wondering what other people were doing in terms of putting this out to get attendance. And if you want to have like a full table support, my plan was for sure we would cover the honoree, but should we also do something where you pay a certain amount to kind of cover everyone else that's attending, and then plus paying for the journal fees, all the other fees? I was just kind of wondering what others are thinking of contributing to this.
Ariel, what is your sisterhood? What sisterhood are you with?
Congregation Beth Israel in Scotch Plains.
Okay, thanks. Welcome. We're happy to have you with us.
Thank you.
Good to see you. We've had conversations before.
Yeah, I know. I became president this fall and took it over from someone that had it like 4 years, because like during the COVID years, I think there was kind of a stagnant phase, and our sisterhood is really turned over. So now it's more, it's a mix of women over 50 and women under 50 that are getting involved. And I think for like
Awesome.
a program like this, because it's on a Monday night in June, which gets towards like, I know for me, I have 3 kids. So it's like I have one in high school, one in middle school, one in elementary school, trying to figure out, and I want to make sure I can be there. And so just kind of wondered what people are doing to make this event kind of incentivize, people in their community to come to support their honoree. Are they paying for it or not? But I guess, Tova, that's what you guys are doing.
Yeah, that's a suggestion. Also, I'm married to the president of the men's club. So he volunteered to have the men's club put out an ad. So,
Nice.
it's those kind of things that help.
Husbands
Yeah,
are
but
welcome.
she's looking about how to get
Individually.
people to come
Of
to the
course.
event.
Sure. But I'm saying that all sorts of things, different avenues support the event, right?
Well, and all the presidents, when I sent out the email yesterday, with the invitation and the ad journal, I specifically requested that they send this out beyond just the president and with beyond your sisterhood. So it goes out
Yes.
to the synagogue, going into the
Right.
bulletins, so
Right, right.
other people can send congratulations and ads and such.
Yes, yes.
But does anybody else have any thoughts on
I
what you
I
would
was
do to encourage
I was
people to
gonna
come?
say that my sisterhood nominated somebody and
I wonder
they
who.
it's me. They
Yes.
voted at the board meeting the other night to pay for my admission and a guest. And I recall though that when I first got involved, and was there one of these in 2017 as well as 2019?
Yes.
Yeah.
2016,
Okay, that's the one I went to
2017,
then.
and
And my
2019.
recollection is they paid for anybody who wanted to go at that point. So I like the suggestion that somebody had, I think it was Tova, of paying a portion, of reducing the cost, letting people pay 40. I'm gonna bring that up. We have money. So I
Great.
think they really, I want to support this. I mean, I'm very honored that I announced it actually at Shul during Good News on Saturday. And hopefully when Men's Club does their thing every year, the Man of the Year and the Youth of the Year, Sisterhood
Exactly.
and the synagogue always do an ad. So I'm hoping
Right.
we can expect the same in return, as well as attendance.
And
Way to go.
just to let everybody know how we came up with the price of $60 is because the cost of the caterer with the servers puts it at with gratuity and puts it at just a little over $60. So we're
A lot of
$60 doesn't even pay for the whole thing. Okay, so this is we wanted to make this a gala event, hence the name. A very classy. The caterers including china and glasses and metal flatware and tablecloths and linen napkins. So if this was a homegrown thing like conference or Torah fund, it wouldn't be like this. Okay, it would be much cheaper. But we wanted to make this special, and the cost of food, which has increased dramatically since 2019. So that's where this came from. And unfortunately, Sunday didn't work out in our favor all over the place. And so Monday night is what we can do.
Plus you have also security costs, which in the past you didn't have.
Okay, and
Right.
security is
Right.
not included in this.
Oh, it's
We're-
not included, but I mean, it's like an
not-
additional cost that you have.
that
It's-
is.
You know,
It's an
also, I don't
additional
know if
cost.
people realize, but the men's club, I was looking at it from my synagogue, it was $70 for brunch.
Wow.
Ours is a full, it's a meal,
Mhm.
Right.
And there are other synagogue fundraisers that I know my synagogue would charge $125 a person. So we're not really too far out of, we're right in the ballpark and we're on the low side. And as far as the region, we're eating some of the costs. So, but that's where we stand. Is there any other questions or comments?
Well,
before-
I have,
Grant?
yeah, I am gonna say a little bit about how I feel. I know you girls have worked very, very hard as far as getting dates and everything. But there are many people in this region that are over 60 and do not drive at night. And as a result, several sisterhoods are not coming because they have not, they just don't drive at night. That's one thing. And the second thing I feel that we never did in the past is to make it such a fundraiser that a tricky tray and a 50-50 and this, it's not we're praising these wonderful women that have worked so hard, but they're making it to be a fundraiser for Women's League, whether to support the affair or just for fundraising for Women's League. And that bothers me because these women have worked very, very hard, and they shouldn't be made to fundraise at the same affair that they're honored, or their sisterhood is fundraising at the same affair that is being honored. That's all I'm going to say. That's it. And I would think next time when you do plan something, you should consider that people cannot go at night, and they would love to attend, but if it's a Sunday brunch, and it can be just as elaborate as any gala, any place with china and everything, that's really secondary. But I think it's the thing, I'm just going to say that we're honoring these women that have worked so hard.
Okay, I've got responses to that. Number one, we've done this is going to be the 4th time, and every single one, we've had tricky trays, we've had 50/50s, and we've had ad journals. And the money raised went towards scholarship and to help offset the event. Okay, we're in the same boat this year. As far as the date is concerned, there were many synagogues that were not available on that Sunday. We could not have it the week before because of Shavuot. We can't have it the week after because of Father's Day. And the last weekend of June is people are out and about getting their kids off to college. I'm sorry, to camping, or whatever. And it was just too late. This is the date we picked. This is out of the 4 times. 2 are, this is the second one that is a weeknight. No, third one. We've only had 1 Sunday morning, Sunday brunch. And I'm sorry that you think that there's so many sisterhoods that can't make it because it's a nighttime. I don't think that's the issue. I think it may be part of the issue. Okay. But it's not 100% of the issues. I don't know if there's other people that can carpool. That would be number 1 suggestion, is to carpool. Maybe you hire, a younger person to drive all of you. I don't know. But those are my suggestions. That's my answers back to responding to what you had to say. So.
Oh, a separate question. I don't know if you want to wait for communications. I got an
Yes,
email.
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
Has to do with
we need to stay on topic.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Would you just
other-
repeat? Yeah, sorry, would you just repeat where we're holding this?
I'm sorry?
Where are we holding this?
B'nai
Congregation
Tikva
B'nai
in North
Tikva,
B'nai Tikva.
North Brunswick.
And where is it?
North
North
Brunswick.
Brunswick.
North Brunswick, thank you.
Finnegan's Lane.
It's basically on, right off of Route 1 in North Brunswick. It's easy to get to.
From my house in Maplewood, it's exactly 40 minutes. Exactly 40 minutes.
And
Garden
my
State
house is
Parkway to
exactly
Route 1
10.
South. So,
I'm happy.
all right. Any other questions, comments before we move on?
I mean, if we could find a driver, maybe, Fran, for your sisterhood, would your people be interested? I'm thinking about hoodwinking maybe some husband or what who would want to, that's in the area to go down and pick you ladies up.
I don't know.
We did that 1 year for Fort Lee and it worked out well.
If we could find it among us, if we can find someone to drive you ladies to go to get you and someone else to take you home, would that be acceptable? And maybe we can do some head scratching and ask
Figure it
some of
out.
our husbands to help out a little bit.
I don't know.
Yeah, or leave.
Have to discuss it with the sisterhood.
Exactly. So,
Yeah, I mean, if we could find you some kind of transportation, because at least for Howell, it's not that far out of the way from North Brunswick, you know, it's.
We have a board meeting tomorrow night from our CAO
If
Howell.
we could, I don't know if we could
I'll
manage,
ask. Yeah, I'll
you
ask them
know,
if they
if
would
we,
be interested.
I'm not far from Howell either, so if we get a group together, we could probably get a couple drivers.
that's right, you're not
I had
far
another
either. You cut
question.
across and you're at Howell, basically,
That's true.
from down the shore. You cut across on, what is it, 195?
195.
190, and you're right there. I know, because I went the reverse way. So maybe we can, you know, arrange to get you transportation.
Can I ask a question about Rabbi Ellen? Is she somebody that would be automatically?
no, no, we have to talk about that. This is not.
Oh, okay, because
point
I
for
would
us.
bring her as my
No,
guest then.
we need to talk in our committee about that.
Okay.
So, I mean, for something like that, that's a lot of money for us to put out.
Well, then
if
I'll
we
make
have-
her my guest and that'll take care of that.
So.
My
but
sisterhood.
but
That
we
your
need-
sisterhood would pay for it. I
My
mean,
sisterhood would pay for
Rabbi
it.
Ellen is a member of a sisterhood, just
She's a
the way
member of my
everybody
sisterhood.
else is a member of the sisterhood.
Right.
Okay.
She's a member of my sisterhood, so
Yeah.
Making her your
I mean,
guest.
we'll recognize her as being, you know, the executive director of Women's League, but we really don't necessarily expect her to, you know, to do anything other than enjoy the evening with everybody else. So that's a good
It was always,
Sue, that's a
Got it.
great
I just wanted to
solution.
clarify that. That's what I
That's a
thought,
great
but-
solution.
Yeah.
it was always our way of allowing certain guests to come, like the president of the region going to an event at a sisterhood would be allowed to go without having to pay. And the same thing for, you know, the guests from Women's League. So just sharing.
It's
Well,
expensive, Hetty.
we'll talk about in
Yeah.
our committee about what
Too
because there's one.
expensive these days.
And by the way, just can I add my 2 cents? Because I started, I mean, Erna and I, we started the Women of Achievement event
exactly.
years ago. And it's not the intent really to do it as a fundraiser. It's a way to get out to our membership, okay? More than making money on the event. If we do make money and then we have money to provide scholarships for women to go to Leadership Institute or to go to a Women's League convention, that's great, okay? But we want to see the ladies in our region. We want to mix with the women and sisterhoods from the regions. And that's really why we want to do this event, to get everybody out to celebrate. And they can, I mean, we set up that you sit at tables with your sisterhood, but also to talk to friends and whatever from other sisterhoods. I mean, that's really the purpose of the event, to have a joyous event. Not necessarily, you know, the money-making aspects of it.
Well, this
There's
year
a lot
is
of fun.
money making. It is money making because we don't have this is the only way we can make money to provide scholarships. For
Do
the
we
different,
do blanket registration anymore?
not for this event, we
Not
didn't,
for
but
this.
for a conference we
We
do.
just did it.
But you know what? If a person is on a budget, okay, let them just pay for the dinner. No one says you have to participate in the 50-50 or participate in the tricky tray. I mean, you know, just, you know, come out and have dinner with us. You know?
And
You're on a
come
ring.
early or register early, so it's $60 and not $75. I mean, the whole intention was to get everyone to sign up early to make sure that, it was to provide an incentive, or not to sign up last minute, because this is like running a bar mitzvah or a wedding. You got to get the caterer needs information 2 weeks prior plus. So he's allowing us to do 2 weeks ahead of time. Well, we'll see. They'll start nagging us 3 weeks ahead, I'm sure.
He's also very good.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, okay. Any other things before we move on? I want to make sure everybody has an opportunity. Okay. All right. Moving on. Torah Fund Vice President Cindy is not here, but she did send me her report. Hold on a second. So she says, as of yesterday, April 3rd, our Torah Fund International goal is 1.125 million. We've raised $936,192 to date. Carol, I will forward you this email.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Creating New Spaces has raised $193,364, leaving a balance of $6,636 to reach our goal of $200,000. There are 2 new e-card designs will be added to the e-card platform, a thank you e-card and a Mazel Tov e-card. The artwork will again be provided by Israeli artist Bracha Labei. The next Torah Fund Stands with Israel series will be held on May 7th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Please encourage your donors to make your donations to Torah Fund online, if at all possible. It gets noted much quicker that way. I have had experience with that one. That's the way I'm going from now on. Torah Fund has paper greetings, which can only be sold to sisterhoods, not individuals. The Torah Fund invitation shells are free. For ordering cards, pins, etc., call Cheryl Moss Solomon. And I believe that the greeting cards have to be bought in groups of 100. When sending checks to Torah Fund, please send by a method you can track, for example, certified or priority mail, because occasionally the checks have gotten lost, and it might be necessary to have donors to reissue a check. So that's why they're really encouraging online Torah Fund donations. You get a receipt at the end of your transaction. And please remember to add your name and sisterhood affiliate, or name of your sisterhood affiliate. The minimum online contribution for Torah Fund for a tribute email in honor of or in memory of someone is $28. This is noted at the top of the online donation page. She says, Am Yisrael, hi, have a wonderful Pesach, Cindy. And so, any questions
Yeah,
for that?
I have a question. Is it true that to have a speaker come out for your Torah Fund event is not available anymore, and it costs
Correct.
$200 for them to be online?
Exactly.
But yet I see other regions' newsletters, and they say that so-and-so from JTS came to speak to them, or so-and-so
Right.
from
Yeah.
Zeher.
So
Done in
one
a
one
creative
person
way.
I know, one sisterhood I know, the speaker was doing an internship at a local sisterhood or local synagogue. So that's how they got that person to come.
Oh,
So they may be an intern somewhere, I don't know. Or they live close by.
okay.
They're coming to visit family. But yes, as a rule, they're not coming, and they still have to get, you have to give a $200 honorarium if it's by Zoom.
Okay, thank you.
I just had one a couple weeks ago. He was a second-year seminary student at JTS,
So
and it cost $100, I
He
think.
came out to you.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a
Yeah, I thought I
connection
read that
with
in,
Rabbi Reed. We
in
had a
Cindy's
connection.
article that you can have a student. It didn't say via Zoom. Did they change? I thought,
Yes, they
Wasn't
did.
Zoom.
That's what they've been telling us. So,
is it really?
um,
Because I thought her article said you can have invite a JTS student to come out.
That's what I thought too. That's why I was
Yeah.
I
confused.
thought maybe they changed the policy because
this
her articles
year.
They didn't.
It was this year. This is what they were telling us.
I remember that, but her article made it sound like the person can come in person.
He did. He was there.
And he did.
He was
And they
there.
had one in
Okay, so
person.
why did you only give them 100 when it's supposed to be 200?
That's
And it's
what
been
he asked
200 for a couple years.
I
what
don't
he
know.
asked.
We didn't want it
Oh,
public, but I do know there are.
they don't know much.
Right.
They just receive. They don't know.
Yeah, they know their
Okay,
policy.
I had another question, part of my questions. I was also told that those certificates that have always been sent out from Women's League, now we have to print it out ourselves.
Yep.
That's true.
Yeah.
So even though it always came on this nice paper with nice font in a folder, now we're
This-
just printing it out on Xerox paper?
No, we
Yeah.
have on
Yep.
maybe
That's
job,
what we've done.
job
Well,
station. We've
as a
always
region.
I know, it's, you know,
don't.
Actually, we had to edit the certificate too. We had to tweak it. It was it wasn't even a clean thing that they provided us, unfortunately. I guess we could put better paper in the machine. I mean, in like nicer stationery or whatever.
A
So it looks
certificate
better.
for what?
Buy a ream of Hammer Mills, 60-pound.
Right.
Nicer
And
station.
Right,
just
nice
keep it for Torah
station.
fund and nice printing for your sisterhood.
We've also framed it. We've put in a frame,
Yeah.
so it looks it looks nicer.
No, it's just our Torah Fund chair is upset between the speaker and these certificates and, so she's not thrilled with Torah Fund right now.
Why? Okay, I have a question. Does anybody use those Torah Fund invitation pamphlet thingies anymore?
What do you
Yes.
mean, the shells?
The
shell?
shells. Do people actually use them?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
So you
I
mail
printed
them out with stamps?
Yes.
Yeah, and Meryl, I have like a cardboard stock. I just can't open up the program. I have to get Irv to help me because the system's changed. But
You
I
can fit it in
out.
your printer. See, I can't fit that into my printer.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if I feed it like the invitations one at a time, I can print it. And I told Linda, I'm never doing it again. I spent 3 days in front of that stupid printer printing out 300 invitations, 200.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
I
See,
went
I
to,
can't even
just
do that.
so you know, Kinko's, at least the Kinko's by me in Springfield, was able to print the shell on the shells for me. And this was,
How much did they charge?
I don't know. This was, I don't remember the last time we did it. 4 or 5 years ago, maybe.
Well, everything's gone up, the ink, everything. I don't even charge for the ink and it's expensive.
I mean, it's definitely doable. I didn't have to print it on a printer. I mean, I don't know. I couldn't do it at work. I took it to Kinko's. Staples couldn't do it.
Why couldn't Staples do it?
They couldn't do it.
couldn't
it's
fit
a
the-
matter of the machine.
Right.
So, but Kinko's was able to do it. I
Hmm.
don't know, this machines may be different now, because of rental or leasing, whatever they do, but.
Meryl, who do you send those invitations to? To all your Torah Fund donors?
No, to our
Dorothy.
whole synagogue.
Yeah.
To where?
Who do you send it to, Dorothy?
To all the members of the synagogue.
As an invitation to the event?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we did. But this year, the last couple of years, because Torah Fund's been on a Shabbat, we don't do it like that.
No, ours is a Sunday.
And they're also good to send thank you notes. Whoever's Torah Fund or any presidents, those are good to write thank you notes or notes to your sisterhood.
Right.
Or to people. I've done that many times.
Yeah.
Just a quick
Okay.
question. I heard you say that now we have to buy the cards in batches of 100 to begin.
Yeah,
And
these are,
last time it was 50. So
yeah,
did
no,
they change that also?
yeah,
Yeah. But the difference is what I found out is, you know how you always had to write the check to Torah Fund? Now, okay, so now you've laid out the money for your 100 cards, but any money that you take in from the sale of the cards, you keep. So you've paid now for the cards and you're selling the cards, but they can write the check out to your sisterhood and it does not have to be written out to Torah Fund. So if you want to charge $5 a card or whatever you're charging, that money goes directly to your sisterhood.
I have a question about that. When you order the cards, Linda ordered cards, and she ordered like 50 mixed cards and 50 condolence cards. She was told to get 100 condolence cards. Are there any
Really?
limitations on what you pick? I
I
know.
No,
I didn't think so.
no, there
I
aren't.
think so.
So she screwed up. All right,
Yeah.
that's, yeah, well, that's, okay, I'm quiet.
All right. Any other questions on Torah Fund? Okay, next is Tracy, our communications secretary, and she's not here today. She has been very diligent about, keeping up with, or sending me emails on, the emails that get bounced. And like Leslie, yours bounced. And so, I told her to reach out to people that are in the region.
Right, correct.
So,
She did.
if you haven't been getting an email, from the region, the Garden State Region newsletter, reach out to her or to me. But we'll be in touch with you. Like I know there was a, somebody in my sisterhood doesn't have a number in there. She had a number, so there are tweaks and I can check on my end. But a lot of times what I see on my end is the same thing that she gets on her end. So if you also unsubscribe, you can, you're gonna have to somehow subscribe again, but it won't be, she can't send you an email because it won't go that way. So
Well,
I
if you unsubscribe, she can send, if you unsubscribe, she can send an email to the person who unsubscribed one time, and that tells them to request, say are you interested in resubscribing, and they can resubscribe. There is a special that you can send them that.
I forgot about that.
Once.
Yes.
You can do it once, and
So what do I have to do? I emailed her my email address. It's the same one she emailed me.
Yeah, that she said it was blocked, I think, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know why.
All right, well, talk to her about it and directly, and I don't want to discuss it here, but it was just more of a general information. So let you two work it out together. Okay?
All right.
All right, thanks. Okay, so I reordered the agenda a little bit, so we're gonna do good and welfare and then have Susan, corresponding secretary, chime in. But is there any good and welfare? That anybody wants to share?
Oh, I have something.
Okay, Fran?
Okay, my daughter suffers from a brain tumor
Uh,
and she's having a walk in Asbury Park. I don't know, it's on a Saturday, but it's to raise money for the Brain Cancer Society. And it's on May 11th, I believe. So if anybody wants to contribute,
The
they
11th
can,
is a Sunday, it's Mother's Day.
You have to send an
that's,
email.
it's the day before.
The
It's the
10th.
day before the 10th, yes.
Okay.
So, but, you know, she's trying to help her things. She's been suffering for 4.5 years. From out
Wow.
of nowhere, she got a brain tumor. So it's a very, very serious thing to happen.
Okay,
So,
is the tumor, it's cancerous? It's brain
Yeah.
cancer.
Yes, it was cancerous, and they only can remove 80% of it. And they treated her. They don't know if it will grow or not. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Is there, okay, what is the name of the walk?
The walk is it's for the society.
Why don't you send your email to Sheila so she can
Okay.
distribute it
Yeah.
to us?
Okay.
Okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
I'll send her the site and everything. You know, it's for people with Society of Brain Injury people. That's it's cool.
Okay. Dorothy?
Yeah, we are very excited. Our grandson Aiden was asked to partake in the Maccabi games in Israel, in fencing. And so we're going to be going to Israel during July
Wow.
to see him fence.
Right, Mr. McCarty.
Very
What was-
nice.
What was his name?
His name is Aiden, Adin. Last name is Jennings, Jennings. But he's Jewish.
Jennings. Okay. Okay. Well, Mazel Tov.
Thank you. Yeah, we're very excited.
Anybody else?
Meryl has her hands up.
Oh, I see Marlene. I was going to call on Marlene.
Okay, go ahead.
You're muted, Marlene. Marlene. You're still muted. Marlene, you're muted. Plus, we can't see your face.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to have Meryl talk.
Okay, while she's unmuting, I just wanted to come back to the other issue of the Torah Fund cards for a second. That if anyone wants to buy any of our Torah Fund cards, we had by 100 of them, and we'll never use up 100. So if anyone wants, to buy 40 or 50 of them,
Wait, the shells or the actual
no, the
greeting cards?
Torah Fund cards that we had to buy 100 of them.
Oh, those
So
are the greeting cards for the Torah
the
Fund.
greeting card, yeah.
The greeting cards.
So if anyone wants to buy some from us rather than buying
We'll give
100
you a
from
good price.
or not, but we'll sell them.
Okay. Marlene, any luck? You're still muted. And I can't unmute you on my end. Zoom only allows the each individual to unmute. I can mute you, but I can't unmute you.
Funny.
Okay. Anybody else on the second page? No. I'm gonna say my son was on TV over the weekend. As you know, he works with Syracuse Mets. And as an analyst, and we're actually GPS, game planning strategist. That's the only way I can remember is GPS, and then I can go from there. So we were flipping through the channels, and we saw on SNY, which is the Mets channel, Syracuse Mets was playing, and that was like Thursday or Friday, and then we did it again on Saturday. And it turns out whenever the Mets don't play, but Syracuse does, then it's televised. But I quickly texted him, and he says, I'm going to be down. I'm in the clubhouse. I'll be in the dugout in a few minutes. Sure enough, there he was. There was a home run. The guy was coming up, and there he was. So it's pretty exciting. Anyway.
That's awesome.
So, and I think we're gonna take an evening off and go over to Lehigh Valley because they're playing Lehigh Valley on this week.
Nice.
Before
Marlene is
Passover.
unmuted.
Okay, Marlene, go ahead.
I didn't know if you knew that Dina Feifelson's mother passed away.
Yes, yeah.
You did know, okay.
Yeah, she's in my synagogue. She's a member of my synagogue.
Dina Feifelson's in Livingston.
Yeah, she's in Livingston, but she changed synagogues. She's in Oheb Shalom now.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
And I'm trying to get her to be more active in Miriam Sisterhood. So, but she's got twin girls that are keeping her on her toes. So, anybody else? Okay, next, Susan.
After the last meeting, I sent 5 notes one to Terry Maines for Refuge for her husband's surgery. One to Marlene. I hope you're doing better, Marlene, from your fall or falls, I think they were. And one to Arlene for her injury. I hope you're doing better also. And to Susan Winter, a mazel tov on her daughter's appointment to the Yiddish, whatever, I have it written down.
It was the fellowship for the
Fellowship at the Yiddish Book
Yeah.
Center, right,
And
right.
thank you.
And one for Helene's son as being named pediatric education director at St. Peter's University Hospital.
Thanks.
So this time it's just going to be the one to
So
Dorothy.
don't send one to me. I don't need one for my son.
Okay, so just to Dorothy for her.
It's just bragging
grandson.
rights for me.
What's that?
It's just bragging rights for me.
Okay, that's fine. But you want me to send a note? You'll send me an email with who I need to send a note to. I think it's just the one for this time. As if I was paying attention.
Two. Dorothy and Fran.
Okay, Fran for her
Yeah.
daughter,
Mhm.
not for the walk, but for her daughter. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
And to everybody, Azissa Pesa.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on, unfinished business, Devar Torahs. I need someone for Devar Torah for June, which is June 11th, which is like Wednesday after Women of Achievement. Anybody? Okay, don't make me call on you.
I did my job.
Yes, you did, and a good one. So I will let you have, if you do the Devar Torah, you can either do the past week or the coming week. So you have your choice. All right, any other unfinished business anybody want to talk about? All right, any new business, anything that people want to bring up?
If I could ask, whatever these rules are that are coming from Torah Fund, I'm not sure that the people that should be making these decisions are making them. I'm just hearing the results. And sitting on the Torah Fund cabinet, I don't know about that. I didn't know that the cards were going up to $1 and whatever was being mentioned today. So when they're mentioning all of this to you as presidents, could somebody mention how this information or ask how this information came about?
Well, I know Cindy had talked about it in the beginning of the year, that the cards were $1 a piece and you had to get 100 at a time. I definitely know that she talked about that. And it was brought up that the students weren't coming to the sisterhoods, and the honorariums of $200 was last year.
Not this year.
Not, well, it continued on to this year. So,
But now they could only come on Zoom and you pay them
$200, which doesn't make sense if
they're not coming.
Yeah.
So that's a new one. So whatever. I knew the 200 they come out. The Zoom part, not a
It
clue.
was 200, they would come out, plus you would pay their transportation or, whatever. Now, I guess
And
just
the
pay the
certificates
transportation.
too. Yeah, and the certificates too, that they're just cheaping.
Yeah, the
Cheap.
certificates. I mean, all these things.
I have something to mention. I don't know if everybody knows it, but the Women's League office in New York is moving.
Oh my God, I totally forgot about that.
You forgot about it. Effective May 1st, I believe. They're moving up to JTS, finally.
Yeah.
a couple of years ago, they moved someplace around Penn Station to an office building. It was actually a floor that with a lot of Jewish organizations, but that they were the Jewish organization that they sublet from was moving, whatever, and so they needed somewhere to go. And this time, JTS was accommodating because they've asked in the past, and they're going to be in the Kripke Tower up at JTS, which I
The
think
ninth
is
floor.
a fabulous thing. I think it's about time.
It's the top floor, yeah.
Actually, it's something I read said they were in JTS way like 80 years ago or something. Yeah, if you read the whole little thing there.
The Torah Fund office was on the
They had
8th
their own
floor.
house. They
And we're
had
gonna
a
be on the
townhouse
9th
years
floor.
ago. Oh.
Right.
Well, Torah Fund has always been, I believe, in JTS.
Right,
This
right.
is the Women's League
Women's League, right.
people. Okay, they used to be, I know when I got involved, at that time they owned a townhouse on East 74th something Street, 4th Street. And that they sold, and then they moved into the All Faiths building on the Upper West Side. And from
74th
there,
Street.
Anyway, but now they're going to be at the JTS building. They have offices there, which is, I think it's a good thing. I think it's good visibility for Women's League with the JTS students, okay, because maybe this will get the rabbis and the cantors and the lay people to know who Women's League is. And as they go out into their various professions, they will have, more familiarity with the Women's League organization. So I think it's a good thing. So.
Marlene?
In Los Angeles, the Women's League is at the University of Judaism, or whatever they call it now.
Ziegler.
Ziegler School?
American University. Ziegler. Both.
Yeah, we're in the same area as Ziegler, yeah.
But they've always been, even before they moved, they always and no, it's not Women's League. It's not the Women's League. Isn't it the Pacific Region's office?
It may be also.
Yeah, it's in the building where the students are. I've been there. I don't know what it's called, but it's been
It's not
used.
Women's League. I think it's the Pacific.
You're right. It's the Pacific region.
It's the Pacific Region of Women's League. Always had an official office, okay?
Right in the school.
Right in the school, exactly.
Ladies, this is not relevant to the meeting. I mean, if they move, they're gonna let us know exactly where they are. We need to continue on.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Dorothy had her hand up.
All right. All right, any other new business?
Wait.
Okay, so remember.
Lisa's got her hand up.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think Rabbi Ellen had an article about the move in the Women's Week, this week's
she did.
Women's. So
Yeah,
you
she
can
did.
get more about that.
They're going to keep the same telephone number, okay? They're able to do, but it's just that the address, if you mail anything going forward, it's actually, it's the 3080 Broadway address.
So, all right, so upcoming meetings, May 14th, Marlene Oslick is doing Devar Torah. June 9th is a Woman of Achievement. June 11th, I still need a Devar Torah person. Then July 27th, Leadership Institute, and then we have our little workshops in August. So, and that's all I got. I want to wish everybody a happy Passover. Sweet.
You too.
You as well.
Yeah, same to everybody. Take care.